Welcome everyone, it's my first podcast. I'm totally horrible at this. I'm here with Johnkill 3D,
What's up?
and it's about the friendly debate about the Battlefront 2 Lootbox controversy. And you split it up in three sections.
And more so, I like how I did the titles for those three. I did them in episodes, kind of like Star Wars.
Yeah,
Just I had to play with the Star Wars theme.
yeah.
I had to do it, but now compared to those videos, the loot box system, in honest opinion, you and I, we both hate them. Everyone needs to get that straightened out. Universally, we do hate them, but there is a lesser of two evils to it. But I want to hear your opinion first, and I'll explain how it does. I'll explain my opinion of it, but I want to hear how much you honest about the loot boxes.
Okay, just as you said, the first part is about the game itself, without the stuff around it,
Mm-hmm.
without the loot box
Oh yeah.
controversy. Okay, about the game itself, in a nutshell, my opinion about it. It's better than the first Battlefront from 2015, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still far away from the original Battlefront 2. And I
Oh
watched
yeah.
reviews, I watched Angry Joe's review, and I'm mostly on his part because graphics are great. It's the same engine. Um,
And I mean,
sound is great. Gameplay is
oh
great.
yeah.
Great. Controls are spot on. It's just like Battlefront 2, Battlefront 1. It lacks content. Has not the same content as the original Battlefront 2. The Galactic Conquest is
Yeah.
still missing. Heroes and villains are still missing from the old ones. There's
Oh
no
yeah.
still no Clone Wars. Yeah,
I mean, to a degree, we don't have a separacy. What I feel that the game is missing is, I think what would help it, like we're speaking, so everyone knows this section, we're speaking of it as if the controversy and all the bullshit weighing it down doesn't exist. Where we're looking at the game, if it had dedicated servers to every era, like you can go into the era you want to play, that would give some good options, because then you can get into more Clone Wars matches, or if you want to get into original trilogy or the new trilogy content, instead of it being cycled by every end of the match, like, because you'll never know what era you'll get into, and what if you just want to prefer to play the era you feel comfortable with.
yeah. Dedicated servers would
Yeah.
give a lot of options. LAN modes, I missed the LAN modes. Mods, all dead, right? Sadly.
Now about
Yeah, mods kept the original Battlefront alive.
about how, like, because Dice, a lot of people give EA the shit because Dice is the one who has to make the game,
Yeah,
and
but EA
they
dig.
do,
No,
huh?
no, sorry, just go on.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, because Dice really does know how to craft their game. It's unfortunate though that it's under EA, because the sound is there, the characterizations are there, the gameplay, the visuals. It really feels like you were dropped right into Star Wars. Now, if they were to do that, like if they were to take the original Battlefront 2 and give it this beautiful makeover of these two Battlefronts that we have gotten in the past couple years, that would be definitive. But we already know that's not going to happen. And not only that, it's going to bring up that whole, the original game, Battlefront 2, is no longer a part of the Star Wars universe, because that took place in the old EU period.
Yes, but I would give DICE just part of the fault. It's
Yeah.
the part of the fault because they choose EA as a publisher, but
Mm-hmm.
EA has the most fault because they dictate the who's, the hows, the whens, and the whats, because they are the money giver to them.
Oh yeah.
So they dictate what has to do in the game, what has to do out, what has to be put out of the game, how the DLC plans are, how the microtransactions and the loot box plans are. The developer DICE has
Mm-hmm.
barely anything to say about that because hey,
Yeah.
we publish you, you have to do what we say, and EA, everyone knows, is
Lost their fucking minds.
yeah,
And I was told that I've lost my damn mind.
yeah,
um See, what I have to say about Battlefront 2, this one, these two that we have gotten so far. 2015, even though it was a big disappointment, and yes, you had to get the season pass to play all its content.
Yeah.
Um, it was a big issue for me, and at the same time, it wasn't because the season pass I didn't buy. The game was a gift to me.
Mm-hmm.
This was the Battlefront 2. I bought this one. The last one was a gift to me, and I was gifted the $100 Ultimate Edition. So in due time, I was gonna see the expansions and test it for myself. So then at first, yeah, it was a huge disappointment. And then when I went back and gave the second game a try with all its content finally put where it should be, then it didn't make the game great. It only alleviated it slightly because yeah, you did have fun moments and great moments in the old game, but there was still a whole bunch of problems. And
Yeah.
yes, the campaign was one of them, and I hated the token system of finding the power ups because it was the power up system. I agree was stupid. It was terrible. Um, Now when we got into this one, when the game was first announced, I was still skeptical because I was like, all right, we're getting all three eras, but how much of this is going to be season pass? What is this? I might just wait again. Or probably ask one of my parents or a family member to see if they'll hook me up with it for the holidays. But then when they said no season pass, everything will be free, it's going to be following a similar model to Overwatch. That's when my tune I opened up a lot more. My mindset changed with the game. And I'm like, really? No season pass. How faithful is it going to be to all three eras? Now I was getting more and more and more interested. It was only until a week before the game came out that all this shit was being said about it, and I was like, I still have to be optimistic and go into the game for myself. I can't go by what other people say. That's not what you can't let what other people say dictate your opinion. You have to see it for yourself. And when I played Battlefront 2, yes, I saw what people were saying. I very much saw the bullshit. But then when I first started the game, I played the campaign. I do this with all Battlefronts. I played on the hardest difficulty possible because when you play games on a harder difficulty, you can agree with this, that's when you get the full experience, the full immersion of the game. Because you don't just breeze through everything. You really need to put your gaming senses on high.
Yeah, but if you program or develop a game that it will be enjoyable only at higher difficulties, then something went wrong with the AI, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You have
Now,
to
I'm going back. Yeah.
yeah, you have to put something more to motivate the player to play on higher difficulties.
Well, that's the thing. I went back I went back, turned on my PS2, and I started playing original Battlefront 2, and there was only two difficulty modes, normal and elite. Even on normal, the AI is very, simplistic. They're very simple. They will do dumb shit. But remember, that's a much older game. People still had to work out what was effective AI and not. So that game still gets the benefit of the doubt. So it was always in us to play it on elite mode. But now I'm going back and playing the campaign mode again. Because when you play it again and you search the levels, you also get crafting parts as well. So I'm just going back through, casually looking for the rest of the collectibles because I like to collect things in the games. The AI, even on normal, they're 50-50. They're hit or miss. Sometimes they will be the threat that they need to be, and sometimes you'll just breeze right through blasting them down.
Like Rambo.
But basically.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's just because older gamers like you and I, or people who have played the original games, we're so prone to playing on higher difficulties that even higher difficulties or the maximum difficulties are breezes to us. Like we are just that trained in playing a game. Like we've trained ourselves basically playing games on maximum difficulties that these games with ludicrous difficulties are nothing to us.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Now, when we talk about how the game is set up, the story mode, I think it's because I know for a fact it's because months ago I listened to Audible, I listened to the Infernal Squad book, and the Infernal Squad book was really, really good. So when I went into this game, I'm like, okay, this is the concluding part to that. So I already know where this could possibly end up because people are saying, oh, Aiden's turn was too quickly. Yes, in the video game, but when you listen to the book, no one, everyone in Star Wars except for like say Darth Sidious, kind of Darth Maul. Many characters are known as they're gray. Everyone is gray. No one is truly evil or truly good. So this character, she could have went anywhere, and I liked how she was presented in the book. I liked how the character of Del Mico was presented in the book. Hask, all these people, and right when you listen to it, I guess that's why they released it months in advance. So if people were to read it or listen to it, you went into this game knowing that this is the end of the Infernal Squadron story. And for people who don't play, who didn't listen to it, yes, I can understand where the complaints are coming from. So I can see that the story mode was more so presented to people assuming that they have listened to the Infernal Squadron storyline, but a few more like prologue missions or missions taking place in the Infernal Squadron book would have helped bring the players up to speed with what was going to happen in the game.
I was, to be fair, I was the story mode could it be much better because
Mm-hmm.
they reduced it to that point to be that short that you don't develop an attachment to the characters. The characters itself themselves not enough time to develop a
To grow on
personality
you.
to have a personality, and it
Yeah.
just ends. Yeah, it's EA because like you said, when EA said, okay, we make Battlefront 2 without season pass, without the DLC bullshit, it will have a single player campaign. I was like, really, EA, just like you did with Mass Effect or Dead Space 3,
Yeah.
and then the beta version came, and then all the grinding and the loot boxes, and you have to collect this
Mm-hmm.
and that to get this stuff, and I thought, okay, called it, not on my not to buy list, instantly. And then
Yeah.
now the final version came out. It was a little bit better, but still microtransactions, the grinding, the loot box bullshit was still there.
Now, you could say that, okay, a lot of people who bought the digital deluxe edition, which is what I did not buy, I didn't even pre-order the game at all.
I
I
didn't
just
I
decided
didn't buy the game at all.
what I did was this. Okay, people are doing all these microtransactions. See, the people who did the microtransactions within the first week are they have no right to talk and complain if they participated. Because you do realize the people that are talking about it, they heavily participated in the microtransactions, got all those crystals before they were pulled down just so they could deck themselves out. Versus me, I picked it up, and the even if it was still active, I wasn't going to use it. When I did my review, I opened the crate, one of the crates, to demonstrate, okay, let's see how this works, how this is, affecting the game. But
Yeah,
then I noticed a workaround. As I was playing the campaign, I noticed that you earn close to 500 to 1,000 credits and 25 to 75 crafting parts per match campaign mode mission. So when I did that, I was like, okay, maybe I can, once I beat the story mode, I'll have a hefty amount here. I'm gonna do the arcade mode challenges, build up the crafting points and the credits there, so I can get the credits were for the characters. The crafting points was to unlock the cards I wanted for my playstyle. So I did that. After that, I got the cards I wanted for my characters, who I primarily use, which is the assault and the heavy, and for my lightsaber wielders, Kylo Ren, Rey, Darth Maul, and Luke Skywalker. So I have a total of 6 characters that I use, and I'm just working on them. All I'm doing now is getting crafting parts from the challenges, because the challenges are going to be resetting soon as part of EA's season thing they're working, like the season. The challenges are gonna start updating with different challenges to get crafting parts. See, that's the only thing I will do. I will get the crafting parts to further increase my character. And when you saw me live stream the game and you saw my review and you saw my how I progressed without the loot boxes, you saw that without using the loot boxes, how powerful were my characters, my 6 characters.
Yeah. But you know that you get from the multiplayer matches the amount of credits and crafting parts without considering the skill level. Even because Angry Joe did the test with
Yeah.
the least amount of kills and the most amount of deaths, he got the same amount of credits as the first placed. And
There's also one thing I gotta also hold on. Let's answer Jack Williams' question. A hidden customization menu was founded. Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that there's a hidden customization menu. There will be one. That's something we're also going to talk about too when we get into the loot box section of this. When we fully talk about when we get into the controversy bullshit after we just talk about the game itself. Yeah, and I saw what Angry Joe had said about it. Now, the difference is like versus you beat when the PlayStation Inquisition did my video, he was skipping over a lot. Even Ogre, Mr. Racer noticed it, that he was skipping over a lot of portions of my video, which people, I don't know why people ironically do that. They will skip over portions of my videos when they slightly hear that I'm starting to make a point. They'll skip it to put their point across. But yesterday, when I was streaming, you could go. I gotta find the part for you, or skim through toward the end. I was playing a match. You know, I left with with over 1,000 credits.
I didn't pay attention to your credit amount after the matches.
Dude, I flipped my shit when I saw it. I left the
you,
match
you
with
just,
over 1,000.
You just made 1,000 credits in one match, or what?
Yeah, in one match, not as over a couple matches. In one match, it wasn't just a solid 1,000. It was 1,000 and something that I had. And I'm thinking, did they because there was an update that yesterday for the game, and I'm thinking, did they just change the credit cap or the credit earning? Like, it completely caught me off guard, because from this point, the closest amount of credits I would earn would be between 300 to 500. But then when I saw that 1,000, I flipped shit for a few seconds.
Nice.
Now, Jack Williams says, with the gambling commission are in effect, EA will need to rethink what they're going to do before they... And I could tell you, here's the thing. Let's play a what-if scenario. If that dude who runs EA was kicked out of office, and if I was put in freaking EA's shoes, trust me, I would turn that company around in a heartbeat. I would do the very things fans need. I would give them only... Because if loot boxes... Because here's the problem with... we're going to jump into loot boxes because this is gearing more toward it.
Mm-hmm.
But loot boxes, whether they go... Okay, if I was in EA, I would completely erase microtransactions, period. But there is also a problem with that. I looked back at Angry Joe's video of Halo 5. If you take away microtransactions, the community of Halo was defending the microtransactions, saying it's not a big deal, which was baffling to me because, okay, I agree that EA was the boiling point and it finally blew shit up.
Yeah, that's what I told to you. The EA just
like
just
what you said to me
was the boiling point, because EA did it before with FIFA 18. They did it. They doing it with Need for Speed now, and before EA, Square Enix did it with Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Deus Ex, right?
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I never played the sports games, so I can't speak on that part. What I would do if loot boxes can't be eradicated completely, what I would do was I would only put cosmetic options, but still have them optional. Like, I would do everything in my power to make the loot boxes ignored. Like, they're just there. They could just be ignored. Like Shadow of War. Those microtransactions are not invasive. You could completely ignore them. The only time you're reminded of them is when you get playing the game continuously, you get rewarded the gold that you can spend on the chesses.
Yeah.
But that's the only time you get reminded. Other than that, you will forget they're there.
Yeah.
So what I would have done was I would make it cosmetics only and those emotes or whatever only, but I would still give you in-game ways, fair ways to get those abilities and those crafting parts that you need and the cosmetics. See, what I would say is this. People are now bitching about what EA said, which I know it's a silly ass response that they're talking about the canonical, that some cosmetics can break the canon. A 50-50, yes and no, and I'm gonna explain on both sides. And B, you can give your thoughts on this as well, of how you feel about what is canonical, or what would break the immersion of the game versus what fits. You have no problem with customization for soldiers, for the infantry units. You wouldn't like, do those break the immersion or canonical things if you're just able to customize soldiers?
We are talking about cosmetic customization, not...
Yes. Yeah, cosmetic customization.
I really don't care much about cosmetics, but yeah, it's not
people
it's
want
not
it
heavy.
for heroes.
It's not heavy in the game, but cosmetics are also were taken away from the old era of video games, because back in the 90s or in the early 2000s, all the cosmetics were not locked behind a paywall or some bullshit shady business practices.
You just have to play the game or
It
do a
was
challenge and you get
beat
them.
the final boss at the hardest difficulty. Bam, you unlock this skin, or beat the stage under a certain amount of time. Bam, you got that skin. It
get
wasn't
the skin.
unlockable without paying anything. You just have to do a challenge. But nowadays it's mostly around, oh, you have to pay if you want that legendary skin. No, you don't have to grind. Just give money.
Now, the thing is with customization cosmetics for heroes, I'm all fine and dandy for. There is an issue when you do it with heroes, because yes, people will do certain things that will not make sense. If I was to enable cosmetics for heroes, this is what I would do. I would do it based on what happened in the Star Wars universe. Here's an example. Let's be honest, Beat. You don't want to see a pink Darth Vader running around the map.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. A pink Darth Vader riding a rainbow unicorn, shooting nukes out of his lightsaber.
This is what I would do. I would create I would have a alternate costume for him to where you see him battle damaged. Because that's still pretty intimidating. Seeing a battle damaged Darth Vader come after you.
Or without the mask, like when Luke took out his mask in episode 6 at the ending.
Or when the best example is, remember in The Force Unleashed, how you beat Vader to a pulp and you see all his parts and burnt areas, something like that, to where you see a charred Vader coming at you.
Yeah, to give a little bit of variety, yeah.
Yeah, and they're testing that now with Rey and Kylo Ren. What the hell? He said that, did any of us pay attention to a 19-year-old that got addicted to gambling in mobile and PC gaming? He spent over $10K. See...
Yeah, there was a news article about that. There was a news article about that. That was so yeah.
But remember, he's grown at that point. He should know better. We're older than him, and have we partaked in anything like that?
Yeah,
no.
And to get back at Jack's previous post, that is a complete hypocrisy coming from the Halo fanboys defending microtransactions, which connects to this 19-year-old guy spending 10K. It's not necessarily fanboyism, Jack. It's because the gamers of today, the young people of today, they don't know the system like older gamers like me or even John and like Infinite Retro knew it, like back in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
You then didn't have to spend that much. The games were all offline without the DLC bullshit. They had true add-ons, no microtransactions. The gamers of today, they don't know it, how it was back then. That is the thing.
And another game for prime example, this is a side note, this is only to explain another game that has no invasive microtransaction is Assassin's Creed Origins.
It has Yeah, it has microtransactions, but I don't know and how deep it go.
It's
I don't know how deep it goes because the last
I've been playing
Assassin's
it.
Creed
Yeah.
I played was Black Flag. That was the best one for me,
Oh yeah.
and I didn't buff any.
Origins actually, if it, side note, it went to a time period that I loved in history. So
The
that
Egyptians.
game was a win for me. And like Shadow of War, the microtransactions are not invasive at all. Now, Battlefront 2's microtransactions, at this point, they still have time to rework them. And I think with the more the pressure is hitting, and I think if Disney does one more fucking thing on them, like I think if Disney begins to threaten them to take the license away, that's when they'll get their shit together. And there's two ways EA can save their skins,
I
believe it or
don't.
not.
I don't know because for me, I think EA is now in a dilemma because they have pressure from one side from Disney, like you said. Hey, get rid with the bullshit, or we take you away the license from you.
Yeah.
And they got pressure from the from the other side. That's the shareholders because they lost 3 billions in stock value, and they say put back microtransactions or your stock value will pummel even more. So what to do now? Either the EA
There's
listens to the
yeah.
shareholders, and I think they will listen to the shareholders because they are greedy and cheap, or they listen to Disney. Um, which ends up to listen to the customer, but I
Hmm.
really highly doubt that. And I would wish that Disney takes away the Star Wars license and gets
Yeah.
give it to someone else like
Like CD Project Red.
CD Projekt Red or even Bethesda. Can you imagine Bethesda making only a single
Like it,
open world single player game of Star Wars
like
around the
very
Inferno
sim
Squadron?
yeah, very similar to Skyrim and Fallout.
Yeah,
That would be
even if it is
holy.
a third-person RPG like
Mm-hmm.
Oblivion or Morrowind or Skyrim in a Star Wars Inferno Squadron uh, era,
Not even.
from the beginning till the end, like in the books,
Hmm.
that would be
Well,
awesome. I mean, people like you would wet their pants.
well, not even just the Infernal Squad. I would say this would be the opportunity, but like if Bethesda had it, take us back to the old Republic.
And not
That
only
would be the
that,
time.
Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Knight, Republic Commander 2. There are still so
Hmm.
many good Star Wars games that had so much potential, but EA squeezes just the last bit of money out of us to give
Now,
us the minimal amount of it.
what I was saying is there could be no, there could be 2 to 3 ways EA can save their skins. 2 to 3 ways. Now, I don't know how you feel about this. It could be true, it could not be. Disney, obviously, if they listen to Disney and not put the microtransactions for progression. Now, hear me out on this one. Take the progression out of the loot boxes, but they could still make the money via cosmetics. So they could shut the other side up. Then the third thing that would get people to buy, and I know good and hell well they will, is if they add a Galactic Conquest with an online feature at that. Those three things could save their fucking skins.
Or
Like,
you can
severely.
you can put all these three things in one general thing. Take out the
Yeah.
microtransactions, listen to Disney, and put all the future content and cosmetics and whatever stuff in true add-ons. You know what I mean? No season pass, no
I
DLC,
got
no
you, yeah.
microtransactions. True add-ons like CD Projekt Red did with Witcher 3. The Blood and
Hmm.
Wine and Heart of Stone. True add-ons. You get an add-on here, 2, 3, 4 new modes, such and such skins, such and such classes and weapons. It would make happy everyone, except for maybe for the shareholders, but
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying, that if there's a way to, if you had to play the lesser of two evils to still appease your shareholders with microtransactions, I would put the cosmetics there. But I would also have it to where if you got to a certain level, like say if you got to level, would you say level 30 or 40 is a good way to go before you start getting all this cool gear for your character? Like just cosmetics only? Or would you say back into the 20, say put it in the level 20 zones? Where would you prefer that you feel that you get legendary, epic, good-looking gear? Where do you feel what level is acceptable?
I well, we should aim for the golden middle, because if it is too low the level, you get pretty much everything too soon, and it gets boring after a while. And if you put the level too high,
It's repetitive at that
it
point.
gets repetitive, and the grind is still there somewhere. So you have to find a golden
Be
middle
like
for
30
that.
or 40.
Yeah, between 30 or 40. I don't know what the max level is, to be honest.
Well, no, that's the thing. I don't know the level cap, but I'm saying as a prime example
Okay.
for it. Now, what I think could be done is in regards to if they finally get their shit together to put cosmetics, I would say, yeah, cosmetics for soldiers, maybe the alternate hero skins, but still have them also unlocked via challenges. Also, put something unique in the box, like different lightsaber colors,
Yeah, that would be a thing.
blaster bolt colors.
Yeah.
You know,
Or skins
stuff
for
like
blasters.
that.
You know, weapon skins.
Yeah, that would work. That would be like, then I would have a reason to spend the in-game credits, because still, I'm not going to give you my fucking money.
No,
I will use the
only
in-game credits.
only in-game credits. We're not talking about the real money.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, the challenge resets. That sounds for me like an MMO system. You know, a monthly quest that resets every month, or weekly quests that resets every week. Yeah, it could work. Why not? If the people are interested in this.
The challenges in this game are not difficult at all. They're actually very fair. Very fair. As a matter of fact, let me.
But it's like, is it like Battlefield 1, kill such and such enemies with only that weapon, or kill with make tank kills and?
To unlock the attachments, you have to use that gun and get a certain amount of kills with that gun. Yes, and unlock the.
It's just like Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4.
And Call of Duty has that now too.
I don't play Call of Duty.
I'm like, I wanted them to go back to World War II, and I did say that no one bitched at me for the World War II video for Call of Duty, because that game did go back, and it actually finally did change some things that needed to be changed.
Yeah, the game was so realistic. Even the servers were from 1943.
Yeah. You're gonna kill me here. Now, here's the thing. With the heroes, would you feel that, okay, if heroes, yeah, we want all the heroes unlocked off the bat, but let's just say this. If they were to just keep it at the 15,000 and the 20,000, what heroes were more acceptable to have behind credits versus some others? Like, from the cast of characters we have from the game, you know, we've got Boba Fett, Boss, Chewbacca, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, Iden, Han Solo, Palpatine, and so on. But should all the lightsaber wielders be automatically unlocked off the gate, and some of the blaster characters be still behind?
Well, if you ask me, the original characters, you know, for the original trilogy and episode 1, 2, and 3, unlocked right off the bat, you know. And
but have the new characters
but
be
the
locked.
new characters that you like, you know, Rey, Finn, and
Kylo
Ren, and
I would say Iden too, because she is a new. Well, Iden was, but she was very cheap. She was
Iden.
1,000.
Even if you couldn't expand it to the expanded universe, you know, let's say it's example Starkiller or Darth Malak, if they will come out in the future, they can be locked behind some credits or extremely hard challenges. That's fine for me. But as long as it's not involved with extreme grinding or real money, then it would be fair. You can have all the classic characters right off the bat. You know, Luke Skywalker, it's there. Imperator Palpatine, it's there. Darth Vader, there. You can have all of there. Yoda, Master Windu, have it all there. You want the new ones? You have to do some challenges.
Give you a little bit of work.
Yeah, give a little bit of work because they are new. You know, that's the trend. And
yeah. See, the milestones in this game, which are the challenges, there's two sets of challenges. There's the ones that you can do for right now until they do that seasonal, they'll switch challenges. There's also another list. It's the regular challenges. And these challenges are very fair. Let me read some of them off to you, and you tell me if they're very, very fair. One of them is called Getting Started, and it leads up to following orders. Getting started, kill 5 enemies. Warming up, kill 25. Kill 100, kill 250, and then kill 500. and you get a huge credit reward for each
Yeah, you get
of
the
these
the, the,
challenges.
the easiest ones. You get them pretty fast. Just get the new players hooked in, and then
Hmm.
the other ones came after time. You need to be patient. You need to play constantly. It's less so for the casuals and more for the players. They are almost always in there. Playing every day with
Yeah,
their friends. And
and there's another one I'm actually about to complete called Go for the Objective.
go for the
20.
objective. Yeah.
Yeah, it's go for the objective 25 times on a starfighter assault map where it's the space battles.
Yeah.
I have 22 completed. I just have to do it 3 more times and I get the challenge, and the challenge completion is 500 credits.
Yeah.
So these challenges are relatively fair and easy. I can't give too much complaint about that too. Um
I'm not complaining about that
Dice and
either.
EA. Well, no, I'm not saying we're complaining, but some people they're still they going off the top with it. But now let's talk about how these star cards affect the classes. I've been using the star cards and fighting other people with these star cards. I've noticed that they make a difference in only one game mode. In every other game mode, they feel mute. And
Let me guess.
in
It's hero
Galactic,
versus villains.
no.
No. Okay.
You feel the power of this stuff in Galactic Assault. That's when you feel the difference with
Okay.
these purple tier 2. Now let me explain how these star card the crafting work. If you just wanted to go pure crafting and get the crafting parts to upgrade your abilities, it's 80 to upgrade the first time around. The second time around, I think it's 200. No, it's 80 again, and then when you get to the third time, before you get to level 4, it's 480 crafting parts to max it out. But you
Okay.
have to be a certain level. You can't just upgrade the star card at a low level. One of them right here is called Bounty Hunter. I'm not allowed to unlock. I have the crafting part amount, but I can't upgrade it until I get to rank level 25.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't upgrade the card anymore until my player level itself is high. So I could say that that would stay as a fair advantage, like a fair way to do it, but it's still kind of, uh, if it's still a pain in the ass because the people who played the deluxe edition, when they got all these damn crystals, they boosted themselves up beforehand.
And I don't know. I remember watching the Angry Joe video about the beta version of this the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if
No,
it's
I
I
played the
don't know if
beta.
it's I don't know if it's fixed now, but he showed a
Yeah.
card about a stormtrooper with jetpack, and on the
Let me
on
see.
the last level, on the legendary, I don't know, last stage of the card, he
Hmm.
has what is complete immunity or from damage while he's still in
Yeah,
air. That's a game
I'm
breaker
looking
for
at
me.
I'm looking at the cards right now. The jetpack class, the aerial class, has 5 star cards.
Yeah, there's
I'm gonna look at the one that you said
I don't know if
that should, because
it's I don't know if it got fixed, but it was about he granted immunity
yeah,
as long as he was in air, and that's like, hey, you are God
it was
mode.
changed.
It was
It was
changed.
changed to it's just increased health by 20%, not
Ah,
immunity. So you can still be killed.
yeah.
Um, but compared to the beta and here, yes, I can say, and I don't care if I get called. It's not fanboyism. I looked at it critically from the beta to now. It has some of these have changed. These cards that you use, they don't hold a huge power effect unless you play Galactic Assault. Now, Galactic Assault, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah,
You're gonna feel it
they had to
really
be
hard.
changed because there was a huge backlash from the beta versions. And it's
Hmm.
like Jack Williams said in his post. I know that some publishers, even Activision, is doing this shady practice. I think I recall is that they are making the low-level player gets utterly murdered by high-level player. That's what I talked to John before you hopped in, Jack. Um,
Yeah.
if the like it was like it Star Wars with the grind and the microtransactions, that low-level new gamers get instantly murdered in the multiplayer against
And
people
want to
with
feel the
star
urge.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah, feel the urge to get ahead. And I don't like that's not gonna bother us older gamers because with or without these star cards, it's the skills we've built up playing these type of games over these years that we could pretty much bitch out the person using this power.
But for me,
But
it
for
bothers
the
me because I am a Star Wars fan. I
yeah,
like Star Wars.
it bothers me too.
I'm a Star Wars fan, and it was hard for me, but I had to, yeah, had to hurt EA by saying I'm not buying the game. I'm not supporting you, even if the game itself is great. Because I talked to you, I said it in our first section. The game has good graphics, good sounds, great gameplay, good controls. Just bit about the missing content, it's a bit bad about that, but the
Yeah.
game itself is enjoyable, better than the first one. It's enjoyable, it makes fun.
Mhm.
But with the loot boxes and the microtransactions and the grind, even if the microtransactions are now gone, but I read an article on Computer Base that they will be coming back in some sort in one way or the other. It depends now if EA listens to the shareholders or Disney. We have to wait about that.
Mhm.
It just made me that was a no-go for me. I said no, I won't buy the
Yeah.
game. I won't support you. And I understand, like I said before, I understand the side that PlayStation Inquisition had, and
Mhm.
the others that were hating and insulting you. Okay, that's a little bit childish, insulting you, going right in your channel and going with calling you names through the book and whatever. Um, Even that you do not use the loot boxes, even that you showed that it can be played, it can be all unlocked
And
just by playing.
progression could be done. Yeah.
Yeah, you are still supporting in a way EA with their practice
And I
because
didn't
they
think
know
I
because they
was.
know, hey, he bought the game, he is on the
Yeah.
servers. We can present this to our managers, bosses, shareholders. Hey, the game is working. Look, we have so many players, we have so and so many sold units, digital or physical, and that gets the
Now
thing
maybe
running, and
my perception.
they will do
Yeah.
it even worse with the next Battlefront. When the next Battlefront comes, let's put the grind a little bit higher. Let's put the
That's
loot
a
box a little
big.
bit higher.
That's a big if.
Yeah,
That's still a big if right at this point.
it's
No,
not a
but
big if.
like
It will
my
come. It will come because it's EA. It's not only EA. It's Activision, EA. It's the AAA publishers, and their standard excuse is, oh, piracy is ruining the gaming, or
yeah.
which is just an excuse. Or the other excuse is gaming development. It's got
Now
so much expensive, and I think, dude, your company makes so much billions a year.
already off the game itself, like if you don't need to put the loot boxes and any of that shit in games because the game itself, without all that, would have made the money for you alone.
Yeah, they have, just because the name Star Wars, if they that was a secure income without the microtransactions and loot box
Star Wars was
stuff.
already a bet. Yeah, if Star Wars was well, like Star Wars had the potential with this game to even defeat Battlefield, EA's golden franchise.
Yeah, but they had to listen to the shareholders. We want more. We want more money. We put your stock even higher if you put this and this and this. And EA said it. Dice. We have to do it like that. No, don't listen to the consumers. Listen to us.
Now maybe maybe I can be forgiven because I went in with the perception thinking, okay, I can buy the game and play the game, but I will show you that I don't want your microtransactions, and I'm not gonna participate in your microtransactions, and I'm gonna, play the game the right way.
Would you?
That's how I thought I
Would,
was, going into it.
yeah, but would you be surprised if I tell to you that EA doesn't care anymore because they know they have already your money? Because you are
Yeah.
in the game, they don't care about you anymore because they know he has the. We have already John's. Okay, it's now in your example, in your case, we have already this Johnkill 3D's money already. Eventually, he will maybe or maybe not spend real money for loot boxes or grinded stuff and all this. We now concentrate on the new ones who still didn't get the game. So we need to push more hype, to push more the advertising campaign, because some articles showed that more than 40% or 50% of the game's development goes into the marketing campaign, on the advertising campaign. That's insane.
And this
Half of the money goes instead
Yeah.
of of make the game good in the advertising campaign. It's just mind-boggling.
Now, I mean, you understood. You're like, that's the thing. That's why you never really come down on me hard, especially about this game, because you knew that you know that my intentions was good. My intentions of trying to think, and maybe I went in with the wrong mindset. I thought that the microtransactions, if I could just prove against the microtransactions that I was doing the right thing, but then you get attacked for just playing the game. But the problem is, I don't hate the game because it still gives you, for now, or to those of us, we still have, like you and me and probably you others out there, we do have our Battlefront games still. We could pop in our classics and get our nostalgia as much as we want. But one thing DICE does have is that they truly did make it feel authentic to the universe, and it does give you that rush of Star Wars that you need. And going on as any player, we want to go on victories, and we do want to go tear ass into other people as our favorite characters. So I just thought that my intentions was pure going into without involvement of microtransactions, like I do in all games. Like any games that involve microtransactions, I'll still play the game, but fuck your microtransactions.
Yeah, but you unintentionally still support them from behind, so to speak, because you bought the game. That's their primary goal, to make
And
the
I mean,
people buy the game.
And you knew that wasn't my mindset in support. Like I went in with a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
Sometimes optimism can be,
Too
bad.
much. Yeah, too
much.
Too much would be bad. Because my rule of, hey, I like your game, but not on your condition, was I pirate it. Friends pirate it. Download Hamachi or Tunneling, that's a third-party software to play multiplayer with cracked games, and play it cracked, and say, okay, yeah, here.
What did Jack said the loot boxes? Yeah, they make no such difference. Yeah, it is. Someone made a joke to me about somebody on Facebook made a joke to me about the gambling system in Star Wars. What Star Wars is called, the Star Wars Casino. You know what they brought up? They brought up Return of the Jedi, and they also brought up the Phantom Menace. Beat, you're gonna get a chuckle. They said that maybe EA is being authentic to the Star Wars universe by incorporating the gambling tactics we've seen on Tatooine. People gamble on pod races. Jabba the Hutt fucking gambles on other things. And I was like, oh my god.
Jabba the Hutt.
So I'm thinking, I'm like, it makes you think, damn it, EA. If you were to come out and say, we were being authentic, this is acts done on Tatooine, and also in-game credits. You're gambling your victories and chances, and I would die right now on the floor laughing.
Yeah.
Like, I would laugh, because when I heard that on Facebook, it made me take this situation and just laugh it off, and I was like, okay, now I can't take this controversy bullshit any more serious now that someone brought up Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Because now when you think about it, now when you go back and watch the Phantom Menace, they were gambling pod racing. What other forms of gambling are in Star Wars? In the cantina.
In the cantina.
The cantina scene, the bar.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's almost like there are so many ways to connect it even more to Star Wars that it's, because that's the thing, Star Wars is so universal. You can fit everything. You can fit any bullshit excuse from it.
Yeah, makes sense.
See, me, I don't know. I damn it. I wish I should have said that to you yesterday while I was in the stream. It's just like it had hit me because I'm on this like Star Wars fan page, and that's where I'm getting all my information about what's been happening. I get it from there, of what's been happening with EA and all that.
Yeah, most people get the information from Reddit and Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
I think now we should talk about what happened to Battlefront 3. What was the studio that had the original Battlefront games? Did Pandemic make it or publish it? Because there was every time I played the original games, like you see this like sign that says Pandemic, and it had like a gas mask character.
Battlefront 3.
No, because all the Battlefronts I played, even the portable ones, they had like Pandemic. Was it Pandemic a publisher or a developer?
I need to research that.
Because
It was free radical design.
free radical design. So why does Pandemic, like when I turn on Battlefront 2, Pandemic's, hold on. I'm gonna pull the case right here and take a good look at it because I got the case right here to the game.
It was free
Yeah,
radical design, and the publisher was Lucas Arts.
yeah. But
And
I'm looking at my Battlefront 2 case, and you know, Pandemic had that little. It was yellow and black, and it had the gas mask.
yeah,
It says LucasArts and Pandemic on Battlefront 2's cover, and on the back it says powered by GameSpy.
maybe they changed the
They could
developer.
have. Free Radical probably was Pandemic at one point. Because the last game I saw with the Pandemic name was Lord of the Rings Conquest.
Battlefront. Yeah, there are several developers for Battlefront. There was Pandemic, there was Free Radical Design, there was Rebellion, Slant 6.
Rebellion, there we go.
Yeah.
Rebellion did the handhelds.
Yeah, Slant 6
I know
Games, Lucas Arts even itself as developer, and Digital Illusions.
So, a lot of people, like, here's the thing. When you look into it, and B, you seemed very shocked yesterday in the stream when I told you this. Battlefront 3, secretly, even though it's on a lesser, they were made as lesser known, on a lesser known system. Well, I mean, the PSP was popular, but they were lesser known titles. Battlefront 3 is Elite Squadron. It's
Yeah.
Elite Squadron.
You already said that in one of your videos. I made some research and I said, yeah, that makes sense. It's the canceled Battlefront 3 and reprogrammed and made it for the handhelds. But sadly, it's the lesser known Battlefront, you know.
Yeah, but that storyline, like when they showed all the development footage and all that for Battlefront 3, it was screen for screen, shot for shot recreation of all those cutscenes done on the portable version. It's because the campaign was gonna follow two clones, twin brother clones of a Jedi, that their story and rivalry begin in the Clone Wars by the time Order 66, but their Order 66 didn't get triggered. They didn't go on the killing spree, but one fell to the dark side, like one became a Sith, the other became a Jedi, and their story ended several years after the Battle of Endor. So it went into the EU territory.
It's not canon, it's not a particular time from the movies,
No.
it's just extended
Well, no.
universe stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, the storyline took place, like, you know how Battlefront 2 covers the Rise of the Empire? The original?
Partly, yeah, I remember part of that.
So the original game followed the 501st, you know, Darth Vader's, his legion
Yeah.
of clone troopers and stormtroopers. And it ended at the Battle of Hoth. That's where the game ended.
Yes.
When the Empire won. So this game went back to tell the story of these two. It was a personal story. It wasn't like an overall trying to tell the events. This was like a story following two characters, and you go through from Order 66, like a few battles leading up to Order 66, and then all the way till after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
But in that game, in the PSP version, and this was remarkable for a PSP, it had the land to air combat. You can fight on the ground, take a ship, go right up to the space battle. With the ship to ship combat. I did not know how they were able to do that for a handheld. I thought the best handheld at the time was Renegade Squadron, which was another was a Star Wars Battlefront spin-off.
Yeah, which you keep confounding with Rogue Squadron, the fighting,
I know,
the flight game.
Get this, I have Rogue Squadron up here on the shelf.
Yeah, I have played it on the PC version of the N64 port, and there's Rogue Squadron 2 and 3 for the GameCube, but I still didn't play it.
Yeah, Jack, if you look up Elite Squadron, it was land to air. Like, say if you're doing a space battle, and you want to take a ship, just fly to the planet. It says, would you like to enter the ground combat? Would you like to go to the combat on the ground? You hit I think the left or right on the stick, or no, on the D-pad, and you transition in a cutscene straight to the planet, land, and go to the battle, capturing the different territories. And if you play as a hero, you could get in the ship and take your ass to space and invade the ships like that too. And they had the EU characters, all the ones you and I want in this game. They had it.
Nice.
That's why the definitive Battlefront for me is the handheld one, the Elite Squadron, because it had every map from Battlefront 2, every EU map, every character, old character, customizable. You could customize your own faction, like you can make your own army with your own generals and create characters, or alter the ones we already know. And it had Galactic Conquest, it had the campaign, it had the instant action, it had everything.
Yeah, and sadly, we know how it ended, why it never hit the big market and just stayed in the handheld area. I will never understand this.
But I mean, if you get a chance, you said you know how to emulate PSP on
There's
your
a
computer.
there is a PSP emulator, but I don't know if the game's if they got far enough.
Even a lot of people even don't even know that Elite Squadron is on DS. Now DS had its own original story as well, taking place during the Clone Wars. But for also a DS, that was impressive. It was a good Battlefront on the go, though it wasn't large scale, and it had the top-down view, kind of like playing Diablo. That's what it had. But it was still fun, especially when you play your friends, because it had the heroes versus villains mode.
Yeah, here I sent you the link. This is the homepage of the PPSSPP emulator.
God almighty.
That's
Alright, I'll look at that in a minute. That's a lot
I
of
need
shit.
to check the compatibility list of games.
Compatibility?
If the Star Wars game is the Elite Squadron, Renegade Squadron is run well on this emulator.
Because I can't find my damn Darth Vader PSP, which was the one that came with Renegade, and I wanna have the collector's item. Like I told you, I want to buy it brand new for the 100 to 120. I think it's worth it though. The Metal Gear Solid PSP. But with that, on my digital downloads account, I have the Star Wars games.
Yeah, the Star Wars games.
So I just want to get that. So when I take trips, like, as much as I want the Nintendo Switch, I could say fuck the Switch if I got the PSP and I could play my Battlefronts.
Yeah, the Switch is, in a nutshell, the new handheld from the 3DS. I mean, it's a Super Game Boy 2.0. But
like even my like when it comes to Star Wars games, my favorite of all times come from the PSP: Elite Squadron and The Force Unleashed.
And what about
the PS?
Hey, what about Jedi Knight and the Knights of the Old Republic?
I count them in different categories. Like if I want like war combat, I'll play a Battlefront. If I want to just rip ass with the dark side, The Force Unleashed. The Jedi Academy games, that's if I want to fuck around and have a mosh pit of people just swinging around lightsabers.
Yeah.
And I got it. That's what I got it for. Knights of the Old Republic, that's if I want story, that's what it's for. So that's how I categorize them. You know, I categorize like all-time favorite Star Wars game, like, that I will always play no matter what. I categorize Battlefront 2, the original, and Elite Squadron in one. These are the 1-2 that they're a double package for me. Like, if I was to do, like, say, my fighting games, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, out of all the Mortal Kombat games, is the one I love.
Yeah, it's a fun game. I played at Shaolin Monks. So with the double team fatalities, it's really cool.
And even though the versus mode was broken as shit, you can unlock the original Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there any
my first Star Wars game was the first game when I got my first PC back in 1996. I got my first Pentium.
Empire at War.
It was my first 1996. There was no Empire at War. 1996. I got my first Pentium 1 with a joystick.
Rebel Assault.
No, it was X-Wing versus TIE Fighter: The Academy.
Ah, damn it! I was just gonna say that.
That was I just was addicted. I synced in hundreds of hours in that game. It was so good. Then some other Star Wars games came out, but I didn't have the money because I was in middle school back then. And the next game I played was a Rook Squadron because I loved Star Wars flight games. It was before I thought there was some shooter or RPGs. You know, there was already Dark Forces, is what the original first Jedi Knight, before it was called Jedi Knight. But
Yeah.
it was censored in Germany, so you couldn't buy
Oh.
it officially here. So I was always going with the flight games. Rebel Assault was I had only the demo. Yeah,
Mm.
but that was my time of Star Wars. Then till
See,
Battlefront, the original Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 was great. KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic was great. And then my appreciation for Star Wars, because the games continue to go down slowly, because the Old Republic, it's an MMO. I'm not into MMOs much.
oh, yeah.
Uh, the new Battlefront is just empty shadow compared to the original Battlefront, and it's a shame what they did with Battlefront 3 that made me depressed back then.
Yeah.
And after
See, I
Republic,
was like, that's the thing. I didn't find out until years later that I was carrying Battlefront 3 with me this whole time.
yeah, hey
Like,
Jack, it was censored because it was a shooter back in the 90s, in the late 90s.
yeah,
Games
you
like
can,
Doom, Duke Nukem, Quake, Dark Forces, Redneck Rampage, Blood, Hexen, they were all censored. Yeah.
maybe you can confirm this for me because I remember this vividly and I know I had it. On PlayStation 1, the original PlayStation, Dark Forces was on there
I know
because
there
that's
was
where I played
Dark
it.
Forces was there, yeah. But
Ah, I was called a liar for that.
no, but it you couldn't buy it in Germany. It was
No, not in Germany, obviously, but I'm talking about like when I had a PS1, I had Dark Forces and I had the what was the other one? The the fighting one that no one really liked. It was kind of like Soul Calibur Star Wars.
the worst Star
Bat-
Wars fighting
kind
game.
uh, Battle of Terras Masi or Telekasi. I don't know what it was called. I just know I had that too, and I had Final Fantasy VII and
Wait,
Metal Gear.
Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi.
There you go. See, that just shows how long it's been since I played the damn thing.
That game was so bad, it was so good.
Yeah, it was basically Soul Calibur. It was a poor Soul Calibur Star Wars,
Yeah,
but the matches I had with cousins was fun, so I couldn't complain. It balanced out, and then oh yeah, we had a Dragon Ball GT Final Bout.
yeah, yeah, Jack. It did include Blood, Hexen, Duke, Quake, Doom, even
All that stuff had blood.
until they started to make the blood green, or the shooters completely empty of blood. Like Turok, the German version, you didn't fight against dinosaurs or humans, but against cyborgs and robots. And even the first Half-Life was censored in Germany.
Who's worse? Who's worse with censors? Germany or Australia? You tell me that.
I think both.
Dude, you
Wait. It depends, because Mortal Kombat 9 was free to buy here, but it was censored in
like a
Australia.
motherfucker, I'm sure.
But in Australia, you can buy Wolfenstein with all the swastikas and all that stuff. But it's again censored here, so it's a give and take.
I don't know. It's yeah, I feel bad for the places that just don't get the games in full. Now you're making me feel bad for Germany. It's like, damn it, look, just illegally import the games. Amazon delivers anywhere.
And that's the another problem, because Bethesda did it with Wolfenstein, the geolock. So
Ah,
you can buy it from Amazon US, from Switzerland. If you try to activate it here via Steam, it says no, you have a German IP. You cannot activate this uncensored version of this game. The only way is
hate that.
to download a VPN tool and activate through VPN, or get the cracked version to begin with. It's just a matter of politics.
It's a pain in the ass, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's this.
So, closing statements.
Yeah.
We covered all three. We covered the three main topics, and hopefully, this gives everyone a lot of insight that, you know, just because you play a game too, that doesn't mean you're, you know,
You're
how do I
fanboying
say
for
this?
it. It doesn't mean you're fanboying for it.
I'm not fanbang for it. If I want to try to be a better reviewer, I gotta put myself in the line to do things.
If you want to be a
Right?
better reviewer, maybe you need to make some, like the new in sections. First the graphics section, then the sound section, then the gameplay, the control section, then the story section, and then the section of what negative bugs and all that stuff, and then a final verdict. Then you can build your review and get better on that.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to playing games, you see, I could play games all day and I could stream them.
Yeah, I have no problem with
Um,
that. It's because like I said in the beginning, I understand your side that you like the game. It's about only the game, and I understand the other side
we
because
understand the other people.
because even that the other people are exaggerating with the insults, and it you're still supporting EA because, like I
It was
said,
an
they
unintentional support,
yeah, because
basically.
they know, because it's about, hey, he bought the game, we can show this, here are our numbers. Even that the people hate us, they buy our games because our servers are full, we make money, and so we can continue to go on this road. It's about to set a sign, hey, EA,
Yeah.
you did cross the line, we don't support you, we don't buy your shit, you either get your stuff together or you can go bankrupt. Which I honestly think I wish sometimes. Yeah, just go bankrupt. Give all your licenses of Star Wars, of Burnout, every Need for Speed, and everything that you had that they
At
closed.
this point,
Give it
at
to
this point,
someone
I would
else.
take before we do end this, I want to explain one minor thing. I'd rather take the canceled Activision version of it, which was going to be basically, it was going to be called Star Wars Assault, which is basically Call of Duty Star Wars. I'd rather fucking take that than the condition that they put this game in.
Call of Duty Star Wars?
Yeah, it was gonna be. It was one of the canceled game. It was gonna be basically a Call of Duty mechanics, basically, but done in Star Wars.
That sounds weird. I can't
So
imagine
basically,
a Call of Duty in Star Wars.
but I
I
mean,
I
someone
think it
did a
can work.
mod
It
of
could
mod.
work. It could work. I mean,
Someone did a mod of Modern Warfare on Tatooine with the blasters, and it looked really good.
I mean,
I'd flip it
it
on
worked
board
with
for that.
Battlefield. It worked with Battlefield because, in a nutshell, Star Wars Battlefront is just a reskinned Battlefield with Star Wars skin. So I think it would work with Call of Duty.
I want them to bring back those lost projects. Like I want the Darth Maul game. That's what I want
You,
mainly too as
if
well.
if you only knew what I want the new Jedi Knight. I want the new
You want them, but I'm
Knights of the
also
Old
remember it's Disney. It's Disney who has to can't make it canonical.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic 3, Republic Commando 2. I miss those games. I want those games without the of course.
Someone just sent me some messages saying stop defending EA, you fucking cuck. I guess they clearly weren't
Where did
paying
they send the
attention to what we
message?
were saying. No, not in this not in our comments. It's just I'm getting the notifications from
Oh,
my
okay.
channel.
Oh, okay.
So clearly they
Yeah, they're
yeah.
exaggerating. You are not defending EA. You are trying to defend the game, but unintentionally supporting EA, and that's why they are.
Someone
Yeah,
just gave me a notification saying I just came to downrank. I've already downranked 8 of your videos.
the downvote.
Okay, go. Yeah, downvote. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go
I don't
ahead.
give a shit.
It just boosts your view in your search ranking. I
You
mean,
have to give me you have to give me a view anyway.
yeah.
So, um, oh Lord, yeah, oh
I wish
Lord, what
people
I
would
do,
understand.
some people. That's the thing. Like some people um just don't care. Like they want to hop aboard the next train.
The hate
They just want to
train.
hop aboard the hate train. So, you know, I think we pretty much covered everything. I'm
Yeah.
gonna when this renders to your channel, I'll download it. So that means it'll be on both fronts, and hopefully people get it. Oh, once again, another one. Oh man, they're just coming through.
Just let them come.
The-
Just ignore them. They just
I'm
boost your view.
laughing. It's hysterical to me.
Yeah, it's
Eh,
sad. It's sad that they don't understand. I mean, you have to make them understand. Hey, he just likes the game. Even he did. I mean, you can say, hey, I'm sorry, I made the mistake to. I was too optimistic. I made the mistake to unintentionally support EA. You can say that. I mean, that's the
And I mean,
best.
I can do that. I probably will, like, fit it in the line with Star Wars, probably saying Episode 4, A New Hope for John, A New Hope for Optimus.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I posted in one of your videos. I didn't buy the game, and you shouldn't have bought the game if you're a real good to want to Star Wars to be good again, right? That's yeah. I
And
mean,
and I still
it's the
yeah.
internet, it's YouTube. What can you do? You have to
It's the
accept
culture
it.
developed.
Yeah, that's a sad culture. I mean,
Ugh.
it's
So
it's
I hope you guys that watched us, talk about this. This obviously no PR bullshit here.
no PR bullshit. No, we hate EA. Don't worry, we hate EA with every inch of our soul.
I think every blaster bolt every player I kill is an EA supervisor.
An EA supervisor or employee, just kill everything.
Exactly. So technically, I could be giving you guys that thought of entertainment that I'm blowing them apart in their own game.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just spam the forums of how shitty they are.
Just like the Reddit.
Just like the Reddit. Yeah, just like the Reddit.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. If you liked the conversation or debate, give a like. If you didn't like it, give a dislike. I don't care.
Hey, you're starting to sound like me.
No, I don't really care about likes or dislikes. I just
Yeah.
put out my content. I mean, my main content is to make b-boy mixtapes and some b-boy videos, and gaming live streams are
Oh,
just a side thing if I don't have anything better to do, just to fill up my channel to be active.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true, Beat. See, now, Beat. This is where I appreciate you wanting to do this too.
Yeah,
You know.
thanks.
Well, let's see. What time's? Oh, goddamn! I didn't even see the time. I gotta go feed the dog. Oh, shit.
And then your next debate, live debate will be with lethality, right?
Yeah, whenever he wants to set that up, probably. Me and him could do it tomorrow morning or probably next weekend.
I mean, you can
One of the
do
two.
one with Inquisition. You can come to a conclusion, to an agreement. I think.
Yeah, whenever you said to let it level down, let him level down a bit.
Yeah.
I wait for that to happen. I've done that plenty of times. I can wait again.
Yeah.
I still
Okay.
want that Fist of the North Star game though,
Oh, Fist of the North Star, a long lost love.
and I want that game because I never played a Fist of the North Star game. So
Yeah, there are those Dynasty Warriors clone of the Fist of the North Star.
this one looks like more like an open action adventure game. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that
all
would
right,
be
B.
cool. Okay, all right.
I'm gonna let you do your thing. I know it's late over there now for you. So
It's 4 p.m., so I just
4. Oh,
I
well,
will hang
you
out
do
with
your
my girlfriend.
all right.
All right, take care.
All right. You too.